You know, they had me going for a bit in this Aristocrat episode because they introduce essentially the concept of nuclear bombs. Now, it's not an object that's going to be dropped and do a giant ass explosion, but when they're talking about this giant laser blast, which could, the reason we're not using it just yet is because we don't want to destroy our land and our own forces, so it's kind of a last resort. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way they actually commit to nukes, at least just yet, but that's pretty much nukes in an isekai, and seemingly it was BS. It was a little lie, hopefully to try to get you away. But they went so interesting with it, and they had a moment in this episode which really highlights just why this show's military tactics, once again, is so great. Which, granted, the past, 5 episodes, give or take, kind of flexes that already. But when ours has his, big moment of realization, he's looking concerned, like, wait a second, this is giving me deja vu, and then he rewinds back to a previous little battle about how you send in a fake scout, and it's like, I love how they tie things together based on previous experiences, because if we're following a group of characters that are progressing and marching on and going up against so many different opponents, battle tactics and stuff, whether it's we have relationships because we have brother versus sister in this case, or it's just our own experience, it should obviously influence decision making, whether good or bad. But this is a pretty big moment because seemingly Thomas has grown up, and what we revealed to be their secret of, hey, they're gonna jump us in the forest. They want us to leave. They want us to think we have the W. Apparently Thomas was predicting that too. And if they try to burn the forest, they gonna explode. So they may not have nukes, but they certainly have bombs. It's gonna get spicy for the final episode next week. I got those full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full good thoughts on these episodes, it's over there exclusively. I definitely wanted to get to this one on Sunday when it aired, but been having mad technical issues on the channel, but seemingly I got them all fixed, so hopefully we should be good for a Sunday release. But I love this show. Like, this has been one of my favorite isekais that have come out, and obviously I know they were working on the first 2 cores here pretty much at the same time, so I'm not expecting 24 is going to end and they're going to be like season 3 2 months from now. No, but if they were nice, they would confirm, a season 3 or season 2, however they look at it. I don't know. I think officially this counts as season 2, but it's just basically a split core, so let's be honest. But you know what I'm saying? I want another core of this anime, because we're not going to be at a point to stop where it's going to be satisfactory enough to leave it off here. It'll be satisfactory at a midway point, because it feels like we're at a midway point of a big war of some sort. We're probably going to defeat Thomas, we're probably going to have some finishing moments with brother and sister, but we're still marching towards, objectives here, and they can't leave us off in 24. Give us at least till 36. Hell, if you really like us, give us to 48. Maybe that's greedy, but this is an isekai that deserves it. And there's a lot of little moments throughout this episode that really flexes why I think this show has hooked in as many as it does, because at face value, a lot of people look into this show and say, oh, what's so exciting about it? One of my personal favorite moments was actually what they did with Thomas and the lord that he follows. So we actually get some big information surrounding Muriel as well as Thomas and their backstory, more or less. And the father gets basically betrayed. You're a traitor, you have to die. Gets on his knees and says, one last request. Take in my kids, and if you're not going to take in my kids, kill my kids. He had a great Father of the Year moment to then crash and burn. Loyalty for his country above all. You can't call him a traitor. You can call him a shitty dad, but you can't call him a traitor, because at the end of the day, yes, his first request was nice, but he's like, my kids are so talented that if you don't take them in, they'll probably be your worst nightmare in the future. The one thing I'll give this man credit for, puts loyalty above his country above all else. Well, it's not who you want as a dad. But what ends up happening is obviously there's a split. Muriel goes her way, Thomas goes his. But I love the idea that the lord he currently follows, you don't look at him as evil. You just look at, this is the type of guy that, should we have been following instead of current, I don't think many of us would have been like, damn, what an evil scumbag. No, he's a little stern, but just look at the moment when he walks in with Thomas, and he basically, he gets down on a knee himself and says, you got nothing to be ashamed about, let's do this. I think it's very easy to forget often, especially with loyalty for a country, whether you're looking at your own or you're observing and learning about a war from one side. Most of the time, it's not because it's good versus evil, it's people versus people with different ideologies and beliefs. And I like the fact that they're going the route with this one, where you look at this lord, you look at our lord, neither one seems evil. And if anything, they both seem like they care about their people. And I think it makes it more engaging, more emotional. And in general, I just like what they're doing with it. And the moment when they basically get told, hey, we got a bomb, which is basically a nuke. If that thing actually worked as intended, that's essentially launching nuclear lasers at people. And that's insane. I knew it was probably wrong, but it's still enough of a fear that I'm like, we should just like say it's fake and call it a day. So we send Fam in, Fam says, yeah, it's fake, and I'm still like, is it though? I don't know, the whole time I'm like, it's probably a good thing I'm not the strategist in Ars's party, because I was just like, yeah, that doesn't sound good. I gotta admit though, it's a damn good looking fake. Like if this show was like, I don't know, Mushoku Tensei slime level popularity, they could probably make a $500 figure of detailed figure of that cannon thing. Because that thing looked cool in my opinion, but I really liked it. But either way, like, I love how they just unexpectedly will give you more information about characters, even if you think those characters have had a lot of development or realizations over the past however many episodes it's been, right? And I think Muriel has been a fan favorite for a while, and it's easy to forget that Thomas is her brother, but just everything they did with that, and just very clearly, you know, it's interesting because you have a girl who, her reactions to emotional things is very questionable. It really makes me question what type of, like, personality trait she has. Like, I don't know, like, I'm thinking of people I know, people who have had ADHD, autism, different things, and I'm like, I can't even label her, because, like, what, the way she's like, oh, dad's dead. Anyway, but it's not because she's cold. There's just something disconnected with her emotions, man, and it's a wild experience. You could probably understand why Thomas got a little frazzled sometimes. They probably predict the bombs going off in the forest. Well, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Ars has no idea, but Muriel understands before it happens. But either way, this was a great episode. Really, like I've been saying for the past couple, like for a while, I was saying, hey, like the past 3, and then I'm like the past 4. The past half of this core, it's hard to pick a favorite episode because they're all that freaking good. Let me know your thoughts on Sunday's episode of Aristocrat. What do you think is going to happen in the final episode next week, and how much do you want to see more episodes when it's all said and done? Because I think this is one of really the decade's best. Period. I ain't even gonna say decade's best Isekai, just decade's best. I really like it. Your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Sebastian Price, Dude, Akato, James, Aristocrat, Amy, Aliceum, and we also have JC Bat 21. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.